Hello, welcome to my channel, Wing Spiritual Clarity. My name is Wendy Wing. I'm doing a psychic tarot reading for you, tuning into the day's energy, seeing what divine messages of guidance come through. This is a general reading, so pick what resonates and leave the rest. Interesting. All right, the overall energy of this reading is the Ace of Cups in reverse. Pouring from an empty cup, giving from an empty cup, giving when you have nothing to give. Feeling depleted, a lack of love, a lack of care. All right, this feels like you're learning what's love and what's not love. Feels like people in your life, maybe how you were raised even, to believe that Ace of Cups in reverse is love, that this is a loving activity to give from an empty cup. Maybe what you were taught was love, and loving is not received as love and loving. It looks like this might have affected your adult life, being raised, told this is love. This is what love is. Giving from an empty cup. Give completely of yourself. Giving tree. Give until there's nothing left to give. That is love. And it feels like this belief system created a lot of unhappiness in your relationships, maybe in romantic relationships specifically, because this activity of Ace of Cups in reverse is there's no love for self. The most important relationship we have is with ourselves. And if you are taught away from loving yourself, that you need to love someone else, fill other people's cups, and to not fill your own, to not need or want anything, not desire love, not to take care of yourself, that's loving, to not care for yourself at all and overgive. So it looks like these belief systems have created a lot of unhappiness in your life. And that's what the overall energy of this reading is about. That misdirection, that misunderstanding of what's really love and loving. All right. The hidden blessings is the Three of Cups. Family dynamics, care, usually in the Three of Cups, they're celebrating a victory, a harvest. So it does feel like there are people around you who care about you. Wow. The Lovers and Justice. Wow. Okay, you have, whether you perceive it or not right now, it feels like there are people around you who care about you quite a bit. This is so interesting. It feels like you are justice by no longer giving from an empty cup, by turning that Ace of Cups upright, learning how to love yourself. By loving yourself, you have healthy boundaries. By loving yourself, you don't give when your cup's not full and overflowing. You need to care for self first. To love all sides of self, all aspects. There feels like cutting out people who have convinced you that you need to center them in your experience, that is what love is. To lose yourself in a relationship. And it looks like that's not what you're doing. Not anymore, if you've done that in the past. Yeah, there's some type of, okay, all right. There's a broken contract here. For some of you, this is a end of a marriage. And there's a real need for you to take the lead here. To not accept opportunities when you're in an insecure place, or not accepting opportunities from people who are in their insecurities. It feels like there's a real need with the Emperor showing up for you to take the lead here. Lead yourself through this. It looks like you've got people on your side that you can collaborate with to care for you. What's the Lovers? Gemini energy. Wow. Okay. This is a lot. You're very intuitive. Very intuitive. You have unlimited potential. But you've been out of balance, out of alignment, very unhappy. There's a timing issue here as you work through an incredible amount of grief. It feels like there's a real need to heal, to leave some type of emotional attachment that's really hard for you to move away from. Even though it feels like there's no love here, there's some type of emotional attachment. I think you're recognizing that it feels like who you thought maybe a close relationship, who was your person, feels romantic. I think recognizing that this activity that we've been participating in, I thought was love, but you're not receiving it as love or loving. And it doesn't, it looks like you're choosing something different. You're taking the lead. There's also a need to be balanced in your thinking. So no extreme thinking, just stay balanced, stay aligned. Feels like you're making a different choice for yourself going forward. Wow. All right, what you're leaving behind is the Knight of Swords in reverse. You're leaving behind someone trying to control the narrative about you, forcing something. Forcing their perspective, forcing this, it feels exhausting. It feels like this person who's trying to force their perspective, there's no intentions from this person to have equity, more understanding, that disagreements with this person don't lead to deeper understanding. And oh, I'm so glad you said that. I'm really, I haven't thought about it that way. That's really cool that that you're perceiving it that way. Interesting. There's none of that, like, for growth and understanding. It feels like this is win or lose. In one of your closest, it feels like this has been a very close relationship. So the way this person communicates is just so they win. There's a need to be right, and my way or the highway, and there's something wrong with you that you can't perceive. I think you're just leaving that behind. Like, this person can't relate in a way, can't communicate in a way that leads to deeper understanding and connections. It's when I need to be right and you are wrong. And so you're leaving behind the star in reversed. You're leaving behind a hopeless situation because it is working. I think you've tried to heal this, tried to get this to change, but this is the system. This is how this person wants this to work. And so you constantly trying to heal something that there's a need to recognize, oh, that's just the belief system. I can't change that. And you might have exhausted yourself, completely depleted yourself to try to get this person to care. They don't. Because they have a structure, an idea of what a relationship looks like. And you not being happy is really messing them up. You calling them out, you wanting equity and equality when this is working for them. They don't want to have equality because to them it's a step down. So you're leaving that behind. If you could have changed this person, you would have. It feels like you've outgrown this relationship. You're leaving behind toxicity. You're leaving behind someone who can't evolve. You're leaving behind emotional attachments, addictions, obsessions. And it feels like the longer you've stayed with this person in this connection, you've lost achievements and ending cycles and maturity. It feels like you've just been kind of spinning your wheels with this person. And so it feels like you're cramped energetically, that you've been wanting to expand, to be a more mature and expanded version of yourself. But by being in this relationship, you can't be yourself. All right. How to get the most of this energy is temperance, patience. This is slow going. This isn't flow and going with the flow. Everything's making sense. Things are moving. This is slowly, little bit at a time. Alchemizing as you go. Alchemizing your emotions into what you prefer to create. Staying balanced. In this imagery, we've got this person, that's you, kind of alchemizing one thing into another. And then there's this angel behind them. You are divinely protected. You are divinely guided. You're right where you need to be, even though this feels uncomfortable. You're right where you need to be. Don't rush through this. This is a process of unbecoming and becoming. There's a lot of fog of confusion where you're at. It's hard to see the landscape around you from where you are. You're in the thick of it. And trust the process. Talk your way through this. Allow your guide, your angelic divine presence that's protecting you through this, to guide you. I've got this. I'm okay. It's okay where I'm at. I am divinely protected. I am divinely guided. What is for me is mine and cannot be taken from me. I just want what's mine. Those kind of messages. It's going to take time. It's important where I'm at. Being aware of black and white thinking. It's hard to perceive clearly what's going on, so don't. And it also feels like you might be in an expanded state right now. Not really seeing things as clearly because you're in the thick of it. And so just avoid the extremist thoughts and stay as balanced as possible. It feels like there's a lot of internal changes happening right now and not outward movement. It feels like there's a lot of internal shifts. It doesn't feel like this is the moment for movement forward, to move on. It feels like what I'm getting here is to alchemize the grief. There's a process, allowing emotions to come up, to feel them. It's important to feel our emotions without the story, and just sit and feel the emotions as they arise, so you can feel them, so you can give expression to them through movement, through song. A lot of times, a lot of uncomfortable emotions, movement helps me process and move through. Fiery emotions and anger, exercising really works. Sadness and grief, it a lot of times just allowing yourself to be wild version of yourself, not buttoned up suburban to work through, but kind of tapping into your shamanic energies, to your earth energies, and allowing yourself to express what needs to come up through your creative energies. Give those emotions an expression in whatever creative way. Process, alchemize these tough emotions. It also looks like you're getting out of a comfort zone and facing fears. So there might be a lot of fears coming up, a lot of anxieties. It feels like the activity of worrying is not helpful. If you are stuck in a worry pattern, this could happen badly, this could happen, and what if this happens? Or what if it works out? What if it works out in a way that you least expect for your greatest good? So there's something in the activity of worrying. If you can be conscious and not give yourself more obstacles in your future. That's what worrying is, creating obstacles for yourself. if you can, the most you can just be present and allow and be present with what arises. That's where your power is, in the present. If you're trying to figure out what your future is when you're in the thick of it, I can't do it. I'm in the thick of it. And it's important to recognize where you are energetically, and that you might not have as much access to all your energies at this time. To trust, to show up, and allow patience to come in as you're processing through emotions. Wow. All right. What's supporting you is the Six of Swords. Moving on, moving away from the anxiety, fears, moving to calmer waters. In this image, there's a woman you can't see very well here with her head in her hands. A child, looks like they're going wee. And then an angel on the front of the boat. They're leaving someplace, and she has no assurance that where she's going to will be better than where she is. But there's this dream, this hope that she's moving to calmer waters, moving on, taking very little with them. And that does feel like you. That feels like you are leaving some place where you have practiced the activity of not loving, being told this is love, thinking this is love, but recognizing this is not love. And so it looks like you're moving on, moving away from walking on eggshells all the time. Jeez. Okay. Some of you, there might be a child or children involved. That's the second time a child energies come up in what's supporting you. Yeah, it feels like you're finishing up a story where you sacrificed. You might be a people pleaser. You might feel that your value is in supporting others, in giving, and so you might not know how to receive. It looks like you have been really taught how to abandon yourself. And it's just not working. And if you have children, it feels like you don't want to set this as an example for them. You don't want to say, yes, this activity that I've been involved in is called love. I think you're wanting to shift, to break through, to not pass this on to the next generation. Boy, there's some financial difficulties here that you're having to work through. It feels like it's difficult to find stability and security. You might be having your partner, whoever this is, it feels like this might be financial abuse for some of you, or some type of making it really impossible financially for you to go at it alone, to find stability and security. I think what would help that is a belief start creating, if you don't have it already, fostering a belief that I can find my stability and security. I carry it within me. You've got Ace of Cups in reverse, Ace of Pentacles in reverse, and finally our first Ace upwise. Is that even a word? All right, so you've got an upright Ace of Swords, truth and clarity coming in. It feels like you have someone who's very punitive, that you've been in a relationship with someone extremely punitive, punishing, cruel. That's what you've been involved in. And how dare you not be happy with this? And so there's a bit of I'll make you pay for wanting your independence for some of you. There's someone here that just is so unhappy and they don't know how to alchemize their unhappiness. So they are trying to hand that to you to make you responsible for their unhappiness. And they're very punishing. Stay with the truth. What you have in the hidden blessings, you have people who are supporting you. You've got justice. You need to be justice. You need to stay balanced and middle path in your thinking and stay with the truth. Just stay with the truth. I don't feel like it is your job to communicate with this person. They feel like they don't hear anything anyway that you're saying. Say less, and when you do speak, speak your truth, is what I'm getting. All right. Moving on to what to be mindful of, we have the Page of Wands in reverse. This is someone acting from a very childish, immature space in their emotions, in their hurt. And it feels like they want to goad you into fighting with them. What do we need to know? This feels like who's been showing up. They feel emotionally immature. And they don't want you to be aligned and be happy. And it looks like you found your alignment, your happiness. It feels like a timing. You're disconnecting from this energy. It feels like they can feel your happiness is not with them. Your alignment is not with them. Is that jealousy that's coming out? Like they don't want you to be happy without them. This person just incredibly emotionally immature. And feels very comfortable acting from this very childish point of view, childish perspective. It looks like the happier you allow yourself to be, the more clarity, the more honesty that comes in, the more you feel yourself, the more happy you become. This feels like you are becoming through this process. You are disagreeing with the Ace of Cups, the overall energy of the reading. You're moving from this way of operating to happiness, alignment. And during this process, it looks like a lot that's been hidden from you will be coming to light. Wow. A lot that's been hidden. It feels like that around this person that's been coming up. The happier you get, the more clarity, the more separation, the more you unmatch and unmirror this person, the more you disconnect, release attachments, release conscious and unconscious agreements, clear karma, and just allow that person to go and create your own happiness. It looks like just by separating from this person and getting them out of your energy and space, you come into alignment. You find your happiness, you find your inner child. It feels like after this there's still more processing as a lot of hidden emotions come to the surface to be felt. And the more you're able to see in the distance, it feels like you're too in it right now to really fully perceive. It feels like you're just processing and taking each step at a time. And the greater distance and healing that you get, you'll start seeing more and more about this relationship, about this person, who they really have been, an honest reflection, an honest accounting. And then you'll see more of your side as well. So not as punishment, not as to guilt or shame you in any way, but so you can understand why you are a match for this person in this relationship. What you can't see, you can't change. So it feels like the more you allow yourself to perceive when you're ready, when it comes up, you don't need to go spelunking and diving into your shadow. It comes up naturally over time. And when that comes up, then process those emotions, see those new perspectives. And I think then you'll see a very different relationship, a very different person, understand yourself more. Remember to love yourself through all of this, to love all sides of you, to love the dark, love the light, create enough space for both to exist so you can understand your light and you can understand your darkness. If you ignore aspects of you that you don't want to perceive, then those parts will rule you. If you're unaware of aspects about you because you don't want to see it, it's too difficult, I can't have that about me, then those parts of you will have more control. You can't control what you don't perceive. And it looks like you're going to stop repeating cycles. What is this? There's okay. This feels like there's just a lot of uncertainty through all of this. Fear, uncertainty, not knowing. And so part of it is talking your way through this, talking to yourself. I can do this. I'm okay. I'm okay right now. I'm fine. I'm going to be just fine. I am fine now. Make sure to list continually what you have going for you, what you appreciate. It's going to be important to carry that with you. If you get in a survival mindset, I'll be happy when I get to this point, then you withhold happiness and joy until you get there. And then when you get to whatever that is, you can't find your happiness and joy because you haven't cultivated it along the way. You haven't activated that energy within you. So it's important, whatever it is, wherever you're wanting to go, that you take what you want. You have to be the energy of what you want. You have to resonate at that frequency so you can perceive it in your reality. All right. I'm going to end this here. I'm going to take this over to Patreon and do an extended reading. If this has been resonating, you can follow me over to Patreon. There's a link in the description box below. It says extended reading here. You click on that link, it takes you right to part 2 of this reading, where I will be looking at health, relationships, creativity, new opportunities, and career and finance. So I'll see you over there, and if not, I hope this reading was helpful. Have a great day. Bye.